Guess who's coming to dinner tonight? Guess who's coming to dinner tonight? All you wanna do is have a good time, good time. All you wanna do is have a good time, good time. Oh, heaven, into space, yeah. Eye of the Eiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Telling Kathleen Kennedy to sit down. And we got red eyes on our YouTube thumbnails. And we're gonna make some stupid movies for Disney. Who's so dry? Who's so sweat for you, with tears.
Ass man.
Ass man.
Yeah, ass man, Jerry. I'm Cosmo Kramer, the ass man.
Bishop's got butts. Bishop's got butts. Bishop's got butts. So good on the show. So good on the show.
Jason is here.
Guess what? I'm on Cloud City. I'm in space. Oh my god, it's crazy. How's it going, everybody? I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and we got a new computer. As you can see in the right-hand corner, powered by Tom's computer. Tom's computer making the show happen. It's pretty funny because when I was starting the show, the same mistakes that happened in the other show because of the laggy computer happened because I'm not used to Windows flipping the Mac buttons. So when I'm going to move, I'm like right-clicking instead of left-clicking and stuff. So thanks to this magnificent bastard, we got a computer that we could use. So thank you, Tom. Like it really, really, truly means a lot, and it works. I mean, look at me. I'm on Cloud City, and usually that wouldn't happen at all. Usually it would just be like, no. But I'm gonna learn how to use a Windows computer. I haven't used a Windows computer since like Windows 7. So it's been weird. Not hard or anything, just weird. Strangely, when I went to make the featured image though, don't work. Featured images on using the web thing. I got to figure out like a workflow. I'm like trying to get stuff off of the phone that I made to the computer, and I'm like, I'll just email it to myself. But I gotta get out. I gotta figure it out. But I will. I'll do it. I'll make it happen. I know. I think I do look extra good today, and it's thanks to Tom. And once again, Tom, thank you for donating the computer to the show. Like it really, really means a lot, dude. Like it is one of the nicest things anybody's ever done for the show, and you're a legend, man. So thank you so much. Rob will be here today. If he's not scared. Oh, look who it is. Hey, how's it going, dude? I'm on Cloud City. Did you know that? I'm in space.
For the ice cream makers, right? Tom promised you 6 ice cream makers. So and a dead hand.
Yeah, it's true. But so the show's brought to you by Tom's Computer, powered by Tom's Computer.
Thanks, Tom.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's working for me. It's a whole different experience. It's like a whole different life over here. I can do Star Wars shows all day now. You messed up, Tom. Because
Oh,
Tom's
no.
gonna be like, "Oh, great, another update. He's live again."
We're gonna have 6 hours of the Rick and Mortis. You know,
Mortis.
it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like fucking Santa show. You know.
Well, it'll be about the book, about the tie-in book to Rick and Mortis. Yeah.
Did you hear Ray's shooting a zombie movie out in Australia? That must mean we've been getting stupid texts like that for the last 2 days. Like,
Yeah, there's this like weird story that pops up every 6 months or less. I see it every 6 months, and it'll be like, Star Wars is filming in Toledo. And it's just like always like, what? And then it's always like almost the same article. And they just change where it's at. So I think it's like a search engine optimization like grifter.
There's something like that going on with a woman whose dog like disappeared, but she spent like 57 months and found the dog on the other side of the country. And there's no story. I've looked this one up, and it's just the same post with the same picture, but there is no actual story. So I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like the Queen's Gambit thing I brought up. Apparently that was a fake advertisement going around. Like people were, it was a Netflix.
No, you didn't bring up anything on Queen's Gambit today. What are you talking about?
No, I brought it up last week when it was or the week before when I was like, yeah, I thought they're making a season 2 because there was a season 2 advertisement on Facebook. I don't know why would anyone make a fake ad for a season 2? Like I've never, you know what I mean? Like, I have to add that to my list of, well, I guess people just make up fake ads for series that aren't coming out. Like I don't know how that gets.
Well, that never happens with Star Wars at all.
As if Netflix is gonna go, someone made a fake ad, people must be interested. We'll go make the like. That's not how any of this works. But okay.
Yeah. I know there was so much fake Star Wars news that I don't even want to touch on it. It's just like, I don't know, just don't need to. Who cares, kind of stuff. But man,
right?
They're really like, oh man, I'm not getting my AdSense dollars. I'm not getting my super chats, and they're just like going off the deep end,
making up Star Wars.
Well, the most frustrating thing though is it's just like when somebody's lied to you 100 times, like why are you gonna Charlie Brown the football, you fucking idiots? You know what I mean?
She's what if they lie for you? It's not real. What if they lie to you over 35,000 times? Do you revote for them?
Yes. Oh, every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm an American, damn it. Come on. USA. There was a person on the youtube.com, not youtube.com, reddit.org, and they had like a survey, and on it gives like 3 descriptions for shows. The Skeleton Crew one, I feel like I've seen it before, but I don't know if I saw it before off the record or if it was out. But there's like one word change in it that makes me go, and it says Skeleton Crew. 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their home planet that leads them to get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. So the mystery for us, the mystery du jour, is what is the mysterious discovery? Is it Jude Law?
Oh.
Now, if you want to get into that, like scammy Jedi kind of archetype that we think that they're going to go with him at first, anyways, maybe, or do they just find a ship? Because like the way it was kind of being touted was the kid just go on an adventure. That's how it was being explained.
What if the ship's possessed like Christine? Because Christine was in that Skeleton Crew novel Stephen King wrote.
Gotta back it up. And is it Phoebe Bridger?
Yes.
Okay.
Phoebe Bridger's the haunted ship.
Or is it Phoebe Waller-Bridger? It's Phoebe Waller-Bridger. Phoebe Bridger's the cute singer, right? Yeah. She's the cute, big old bitch. What do you call it? 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their home planet that leads them to get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. So I think the most likely things would be, like I said, either the ship or the Jedi. Maybe the ship and the Jedi together. You know, I mean, both of those things seem possible. Yeah, and Bespin says the discovery is likely the ship, but you know, if they find it with bones in it? Did we see bones in it? See, I have so many, like with Skeleton Crew, it was so like in the periphery of everything that I'm like, I gotta collect my thoughts on this before I do a show. But wasn't it didn't we see bones? Am I tripping out?
No,
Was
you saw
there-
salad leaves from Salad the Hut. It's just little leaves.
I just
scattered
don't know if I'm
around.
being crazy right now, though. You know what I mean? Like I seem to remember there being like, but anyways,
That
Bespin-
leaked footage was dreamlike, Jason. It's hard to
Mhm.
place. You know what I mean? It was like,
Okay,
okay, I
you said
remember
bones.
seeing a city, but did I? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of wasn't the best footage.
Yeah. So that it's so there are bones. So they probably just find an old Marie Celeste ship that just comes into port, or they just find it out in the forest. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember on the show making the joke I'm going to make now. Want to see a dead body? And then the kids go out to see the dead body, Boys in the Hood style, but they find and then they get on the spaceship. That's probably what happens.
You think
But,
all the titles of the episodes will be Stephen King homages? Since we're starting with Skeleton Crew, we can
No,
no.
I don't even.
Like the
think
name of the
Skeleton-
droid is K.
I
Steen.
don't. Honestly, the Stephen King thing
Or
isn't even like the
the-
first thing I think of whenever.
What was
I
it?
hear that
The
name.
moat that was in Skeleton Crew. The moat. Remember the one from Creep Show 2?
Look at Bespin's very astute point. Skeleton Crew. Makes sense.
They're bona fide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, then there was like 2 other, and thank you to the person who shared their survey. The second season continues Cassian Andor's journey to discover the difference he can make. The series brings forward the tale of the Bajoning rebellion against the Empire and how people and planets became involved. It's an era filled with danger, deception, and intrigue, where Cassian will embark on the path that is destined to turn him into a rebel hero. So, nothing really in that one, you know?
No
I don't
TIE
think.
Advance versus TIE Interceptors in that one.
In this one, it's all about the TIE Advance and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the TIE. It's the TIE Advance. Look at the timeline, folks. There ain't no TIE Interceptors before A New Hope. Come on,
Dude. Chewbacca.
like
Acolyte-
these folks they're all about timelines until there's something obvious, and then they just break weird Star Wars canon. Like,
But will you hear me out, Rob? Chewbacca. All right. Acolyte says,
does he
this
have a red
was-
arm?
Yeah. He's got Wookiee herpes that develops on the arm first. This mystery thriller will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. So that's pretty much almost the same. That may be the exact same thing we've ever heard. They're calling it a mystery thriller. They're calling Cassian
Jason.
Andor a spy thriller. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard you talking about Chewbacca, and
Hey,
yeah, I
George
just wanted you
Lucas.
to know. At one time, Peter got a space TD during the making of the first film, and we called him Chew Herpes for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. We got HP3PO.
Yeah, it never got
HB
old for me, you know. I just
HPV3PO.
yeah.
I'm trying to make it work. It's not working,
Yeah.
George. George, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
We
you
tried.
think I wouldn't talk to a guy that tall, but I had Peter Prowse by the balls, or David Prowse, whatever his name. You know, the leaker.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Yeah.
leaker. Yeah.
All right. Well, nice stupid show. All right.
Thanks.
Glad you
Thanks,
finally
George.
got a computer. Good for you. Yes.
Appreciate your honesty. So thanks to Tom.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell him when Rob gives me the image, it's all powered by Tim's computer. I'm like, Tim, it's Tom. He's like, yeah, same diff.
I told you I see letters as color, and O's and I's are they're like off white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you been eating any magic muffins from Echo Park on accident, buddy?
Nope.
But yeah, in terms of the like I was saying, like the rumors and whatever, don't really buy into anything at the moment at all. Talk to somebody. Let's say I talked to somebody, and not a lot is really transpiring at the moment. Like things aren't really going at anywhere near 100% yet. But
yeah, I mean, there's still an actor strike, and it's the end of the year, which normally they're prepping for shutdown anyway. You know, like it's like, I mean, yeah, generally there's some there'll be pre-planning for scheduling but that ain't happening. So
yeah,
that I imagine any work that would have normally been done between August and November will now be done between January and March if a deal is signed in the next 2 weeks, you know?
yeah. But I mean, and like when it comes to just the general production stuff, those idiots are the last people needed, too.
Right.
But you still do have to schedule out them to be there.
Right.
You still have to hire the people to turn up and act in your shows. So
Yeah.
I would imagine that they could
It's a shame.
Kind of get going, but
If Lucas could get around hiring people, you know, he would.
What's wrong, Timmy Harris? What's wrong? He's like, what these guys? So never mind.
He got a sticker. All right, you got a little sticker there, buddy. Didn't you stop crying? I called Bespin a quitter for 30 minutes yesterday. You know what I mean? And then he came on the show and I still made fun of him. So, you know.
I mean, yeah, he's a fucking quitter.
We make fun of the people we like, right, Jason?
I mean, I don't like Bespin at all.
Jason,
I'm very competitive. And you know, he's really good at what he does, so I don't like him. Personally.
I'm talking him off the bunk bed. You know,
this is all like this whole friendship with him is all like a big long con to like get him to walk off a short pier. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole trick here. You know, get real close and then wait until he's vulnerable and then just push him. You know what I mean? Right off. Yeah. Jonesy, how's it going, dude? Jonesy says supporting members of the year goes to Tom. That's right. Do you know who writes the stories and approves the Star Wars comics as canon? The latest Star Wars Age of Republic by Marvel was very good. In Marvel, I trust good shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain the process is like the pitch for the story goes through, gets approved in a preliminary way, and then it's sort of assessed by the Lucasfilm story group, and then it goes from there.
Pablo sits on a 6-foot tall court judge, you know, like booth. His little gavel. And he declares
smells
canon.
it and goes.
He declares canon, non-canon. Right?
Canon. Canon. Judge canon. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm pretty sure that it kind of goes through like sort of like a bit of like a vetting process, and I would imagine in that kind of instance, if something clashes, they don't obviously, like if you're like a comic book person, like me and Rob pitch a Star Wars comic, they approve it. And then we're like, and then this one, Cassian Andor dies. They're like, no, he's going to die in this movie called Rogue One. You can't do it. And then we're like, oh, shucks, back to the drawing board. But yeah, but I mean, basically anything that they put out, they have to contend with. Rob likes to say that nothing is canon, none of it matters, and they don't do it. In reality, no, the reality is that if the people at the story group are fucking the fucking EU
they're delusional
nerds that are annoying, and but what happens is that they
it's either is all canon, like they said, but or if one thing isn't, then none of it is, because you can't be like some of it is, some of it ain't. No. It's ridiculous.
No, what Rob denies is the ability for something to be decanonized if something better comes about, which is how basically it works. And
but they're just not admitting it.
but Rob, when they've probably put out 400 pieces of media and you have like 1.5 things, that's not really like, oh well, no, it's all shit. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, well, tell that to the IRS. All right.
No.
Just one,
No.
just a 1 and a 0. You know,
Yeah,
like,
just
well,
1 and a 0.
I just put a 0 on. Look, someone's in court right now for just adding a 0 or 2 to the end of a number, Jason. Like that changes everything.
Yes, adding a 0 would mean that now, Rob, if we had 10
And taking
instances,
away a 0.
if we had
Sometimes it takes away
100
zeros.
if we had 100 things decanonized in the last 5 years, I'd be like, well, yeah, Rob, got a
And
point.
if you use that canon to borrow to get canon credit to get some other canon, then you would be committing fraud in New York. But
right now, we just got. I mean, my opinion, the next thing to probably be decanonized, and they may not even touch it. It would be K2SO. The K2SO comic book story about how he and Cassian meet.
Look, here's the thing, though. None of it should be canon. It's the dumbest thing ever because you should be using the comics to produce fertile ground for
Rob,
stories
nobody
to
would
adapt.
nobody would buy this shit at all.
Then nobody would buy the Marvel comics because none of the Marvel comics are canon in the MCU anyway.
If that was true, then Star Wars would be making Marvel money, and every single Marvel model that they applied to Star Wars would apply.
Well,
and
maybe that's one of the things. People feel like they have to buy a bunch of bullshit to understand what's going on.
They don't,
and then when they read it, it sucks,
no,
and so they give up.
No, see, you're equating your average fucking idiot who goes to the movie.
Theory.
You're equating your average person who goes to the theater even knows the comic exists. They don't.
Yeah, well,
they don't.
That's a whole look. That's a whole separate discussion about marketing comic books. You know.
No, but when it comes to novels, comic books, fucking coloring books, fucking tattoos, people don't even know that shit's out there. They don't know.
Which is why it shouldn't be canon, because then you're missing a chunk of the actual thing. The thing should be in the films, maybe TV, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. Like K2SO was a grievous error. See what I said? Grievous error.
Like, I want a animated pod racing series, right? And it doesn't need to be canon. It just needs to be a cool ass podcast. No, it doesn't.
No, but you by what you're saying is your opinion, but your opinion is not in step with the culture itself.
If the culture's wondering why their shit sucks all the time, this is why.
No, they're wondering why it sucks all the time.
You get all these weird like it's almost a multiverse. You get all these like placeholders for actual. You use Dash Rendars. You know, because you can't have Han Solos, and you know, you get all this other shit.
But
and then they're like, it's dumb.
If so, when they went and then Rob, all I hear all day are bitches crying about the expanded universe not being canon anymore.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks.
No, that's it, dude. Like, I'm saying, like they literally.
Well, the expanded universe was never canon, so
I know. But they're
I knew that
stupid.
in the 90s. It was just fine.
But
somehow everyone went to Solo.
But Rob,
Phantom Menace.
That's why I didn't read it. That's why I didn't read it. Once I figured that out,
profitable.
No, once
and now they're chasing Marvel. Just sort of chases.
You're just talking in circles now because you want that to be true. I'm telling you, with the culture, that's what they have to do. That's why they are selling what they are selling right now.
But they were able to develop stories that worked and didn't work because it wasn't canon. I mean, you look. Do I think Dark Empire is a great story? Were there things you could pull from that would have been cool?
That isn't true.
I don't think that should be canon.
Because see, that had a canon though. It just wasn't G canon. The old expanded universe was in step with itself. It just wasn't in step with George Lucas because they couldn't get him to comply or commit to any ideas. That was the actual like reality of their situation there. But like the old EU was mostly in canon with itself. I'm sure there were errors and stuff, you know, somebody like actually, but in the big picture it was.
And it had a much better Boba Fett bounty hunter story in the Star Wars underworld than what they managed to do in the actual TV show. But there you go.
Well, yeah, but that was like old Boba Fett when he was just like all about
cool.
respect. All about respect.
When it was cool.
But back when, you know, honestly, like a lot of that show, like I need to rewatch it as I haven't watched it in a while. And like on that show, I kind of just like remember like fucking like ninjas jumping off the side of sets like at Boba Fett. That's kind of what I remember from in it right now. It's just space ninjas. But
I wish they were that cool. They weren't even. They didn't fight as cool as Michael Dudikoff, American Ninja. All right, like, it's one step below that.
Yeah, Michael Dudikoff.
Michael Dudikoff. Dudikoff.
Yeah. So Bestman says that was Boba Fett when he didn't rule with respect. Yeah, back when he just ruled from being cool.
Yeah, from being cool.
Instead of the
George demasculated.
Thank you for the super sticker, Mr. Quinton.
Fire.
I appreciate it.
Fire.
Fire. Yeah. But yeah, and then as
you want to ruin a Star Wars character, make him a little kid. That'll do it. That was, you know how like everyone's like, Kathleen Kennedy makes every version of a character a gay female. Well, George Lucas made him an annoying little kid. That was his Panderverse.
Did it twice.
Yeah, he was going to do it a third time with Han Solo, and they stopped.
But, yeah, well,
he was this close, Jason.
It doesn't count. Han Solo was a cameo. He wasn't a character.
He was going to be in there. He was going to be a little kid.
He just said they're on the South Ridge or some shit like that and stepped out. He wasn't gonna.
You know that is enough to screw up a whole movie when you see a little kid Han Solo. That's all it takes.
I actually prefer that his idea.
Yeah, because it never got done, and then you see it, and you're like, "Damn, can't take it back."
No, the idea was that his parents were anthropologists or killed when the battle droids invaded, and then now he's like with the Wookiees, and then the Wookiees lose the war, and he and Chewbacca are together. I just think it's a better origin story than Chewbacca.
They were Indiana Jones.
Chewbacca was eating stormtroopers in a hole or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
Bestman says, remember when he didn't want to rule with fear? Then 10 minutes later, he was exploding people in Mos Eisley Square for all to see? Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Which could have been an interesting story point, right? It could have been like, you can't, like that's, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't go anywhere.
And once again, that can still be an interesting story point if the right people were to pick it up. That's the thing with these kind of concepts is there's always going to be a handoff. Jon Favreau, for instance, won't be doing Star Wars forever, and likely when it does get picked up, it could be somebody else someday. But I mean, I'm even going to take it a step further. Remember when he said he didn't want to rule with fear? Then 10 minutes later, he showed up on the back of a fucking Rancor monster. Like, oh my God, know, that's literally like the scariest thing he could probably do in that place, I would think.
I mean, these are people that dress up as Vespas. They're not, you know what I mean? Like a guy riding a Rancor is a little hardcore for them.
That gang was adorable if you think about it, though. They were an adorable little gang.
You're canon. Now you're trying to rewrite history and make things.
No, I'm just saying
you're prequelizing. You're justifying. You're going. No, actually, it's pretty good. This is all right.
Oh no, I believe the prequels are good. I just don't think. I think that
people step in shit for an hour. That's fun. Star Wars.
Once again, hyperbole from Rob. If you watch the movie, they don't step in shit for an hour.
They do
one scene, and you get hung up on something, and you can't move on.
Well, look, you're the man now, dog. Had that on a loop for at least an hour. So,
So you did that to yourself with some weird sadomasochistic torture shit. Yeah, that was...
And it's canon.
Chewbacca hungry for meats. Yeah. And I don't hate the Han Chewbacca origin thing. Like, I don't hate it or anything like that. It's not like, oh, that means he hates it. Like, it's not that. It just I think I kind of like where George was taking it in that moment. You know what I mean? And the cynicism that the guy would have, kind of, if I could extrapolate that in a Dave Filoni way into being something good. But as Juju says, pod racing, Sebulba messing with Jar Jar, 10 out of 10 Star Wars. I mean that's the thing with the prequels are not in step with the metrics of Hollywood at the time. But then when you look at like where it excels, it goes way further than Hollywood at the time. But then when you look at some of the more common beats that people expect and even needed at the time, it totally failed at. It's a very, very weird, kind of thing. Well, we got 2 Robs now? Oh shit, man. I got 2 Rob. Oh man, this is fucking crazy.
Tom's computer. See, one of these Robs is canon, and the other one is the Marvel Comics version of Rob, right? And which one is it, Jason?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom.
Oh,
but
turns out it was this one.
Rob Cobb. But yeah, and just to clarify, it looks like according to what Bespin was saying, if you don't say his name like 3 times on this one, he'll really come after you. He'll find you, he'll corner you in Fortnite, and he'll just be like, acknowledge me.
I want my 2-page views.
No, Acolyte. We think Acolyte will be next, most likely. And how set in stone stuff is at the moment is completely, it's very fluid, but it looks like it's going to be Acolyte probably first and then Skeleton Crew after. And those are the 2 2024 shows, and then we'll likely have 2025 Andor 2 and Mando 4. And who knows which one would come first. I have no idea. I would imagine Mando would probably be earlier, but at the same time it hasn't even filmed yet, so I don't know why I imagine.
You said the scripts weren't actually done yet.
They are.
Even
I
if
think
Favreau
they are.
says they're done.
No, so Favreau said they were done, and I reported way early, like the scripts are like, he's ready to go, like, but they weren't final drafts, and then he is now confirmed that he has now final drafted that shit. So yeah, so I would imagine Mando would probably get filming here as soon as the
can't wait for
strikes are
more
over.
Paleomoto. Just can't wait. Counting the days, Jason. Counting the
So
days.
once again, Rob, one little thing and you make it paint the whole thing with
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's
but
like,
that one little thing ended up giving us Jack Black and Lizzo. So it builds up. It avalanches.
no.
I literally starts rolling down that Star Wars hill, Jason.
There is absolutely no connection between Pele Moto.
You give them an Ewok and you end up with Gungans.
No.
Yeah,
Lizzo and Jack Black is a combination of all of its own bad ideas across the board.
Yeah.
You know.
Has he learned nothing? No, he's learned nothing.
I don't know. I have no idea. I would imagine he got so many accolades that he was like, he didn't know where the fell was. He didn't know where the line was to fail. Like, that's a weird place to be if you think about being Jon Favreau. You come out, you do your first Star Wars thing. There's a phenomenon with Grogu. The first season's is super solid. And then you go and then you do the second season doing more of the same, but then you put Luke Skywalker at the end and everybody fucking starts peeing all over the room. And then you go to do your third season and but like at that point, you don't really know where the line is. And I think he found it with Lizzo and Jack Black. I think, and the ice cream stuff.
And the whole, hey, the Mandalorian isn't actually about the guy we all got, and then they're just rewriting the show into being something else.
Yeah,
that isn't going over too well either, by the way.
Yeah,
and I don't mean with the psychos. I mean with just the average normal person. It's
yeah. I don't think the average normal person even like. I think when that shit happens,
no, they know because they bought all the toys with the Mandalorian, and it says the Mandalorian right on it.
Mandalorians on it for the starters.
They are. They bought all that merchandise.
Right.
And they dressed up as that shit for Halloween.
I'll give sweatpants.
Yeah.
Grogu sweatpants. I see that a lot, strangely. Bestman says at one point it looked like Acolyte was next, but we don't know. Haven't had an update in like a little while, a couple months. So yeah, exactly. Bestman says you get Pele Moto, then you get Lizzo and Jack Black. Next thing you know, you're being forced to deep throat a banana while being body shamed and told God is real.
Oh wait, in Gatlinburg? Is that in
Gatlinburg? And yeah, that sounds right.
All right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like that's the thing though. It's like Pele, like eccentricities in Star Wars is always been an open door. There's an open door policy on it. It's allowed. You're allowed to have frog dogs burping, little guys whizzing away, you know, little mouse droids, and you're allowed to like play with that thing. That when you do a full-fledged character on it, it's a I think it's a weird line. I think Paleomoto is fine because she's a part of that eccentric Tatooine like universe. But the thing about it is, like for the most part, it's fine. And like even her moments, you liked her moments in Book of Boba Fett when she loses her tooth and shit. Like you were like, that was funny. Like it
Oh,
it
when she admitted to fucking a Jawa, I thought was funny.
when she
That-
fucked the
you got
Jawa,
me
that
there.
was funny. Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
it can work. But Lizzo and like the Jack Black thing, it was a huge mistake to sort of open up what I would call like your prequel style characters, which are just like two sort of boring aristocrats, and then make them the Paleomoto style thing. It doesn't work at all.
Imagine if
And
the CO Bibble scenes he was eating a big bowl of pudding.
yeah,
Like seriously, that's what we're talking about here. Just add
Yeah.
a big bowl of pudding with all
Big
the CO
bowl,
Bibble
yeah.
scenes, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, it's Sia Bibble playing with puppies. I mean, when you get down to it, that's really what it is, you know.
yeah.
And like the thing about it is like if they had taken those two characters and made them very pompous and aristocratic, like truly, like let's say Bail Organa and Bria Organa. Imagine they are snobbish rulers of Alderaan, and now Grogu is bumping elbows with the elites of the planet. And like
I'm not saying the
but that's
idea
entirely
couldn't work.
the angle. But the problem is
Right.
that when they were doing that angle, they kind of like had multiple ideas and didn't commit to any one solid idea at all. So it's kind of about Grogu like eating and taking advantage, and it's kind of about them, like, but then it's not. And like, so I really don't want those characters to come back, but on one hand, I do want them to come back because I want there to be like a scene like where they're like fucking outgunned, they're fucked. And then Grogu now being a knight of that planet, the reinforcements come to save them. And I don't want to see them. I just want to know. And then I'm like, okay, like in my little like nerd checkboxy brain, it was for something. The suffering was for something, you know? But
Yeah, well, that's like saying, hey, you know, if they took the prequel seriously, they could have been great, but that's not what they did. So
they did take the prequels seriously. It's just that George
Sure.
Lucas took the prequels seriously. The fucking difference is that George Lucas believed he could make Elizabeth at the time, and he couldn't. He's not that filmmaker. He didn't make enough films to
he
even
made
be
Miss
able.
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he couldn't. No, but that was like the whole thing. And like, if you go back to the Phantom Menace trailers, even that movie Elizabeth, was Elizabeth the first one? There were two in the end with Kate Blanchett as Elizabeth. I think Elizabeth was the first. And well, George Lucas sees that movie, and I think it's massively influential on him in the prequels. He starts to go, ooh, I want to make it a costume drama. He's talking about it all the time. He films the whole fucking movie, then decides, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to modulate Natalie Portman's voice down when she's the queen to the same octave as Kate Blanchett when she's Elizabeth. And Natalie Portman's performance, you know, she's a kid, you know, when she's in that movie. So I'm not holding it like against her, that, you know, too
To be
much,
fair,
but
it hasn't changed much since, you know, when you go to Thor: Love and Thunder. So there are two Natalie
No.
Portmans. One is canon and one isn't. One wins
Right.
Oscars and the other one's in Star Wars movies and Marvel films.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing is when she's told to stand there and look pretty, she doesn't try very hard, does she? And then, but when she's working with a good director and there's actually like character motivations, she shows up for it. But yeah, you're right though. You could tell when she cares and when she doesn't, you know.
Right.
But with Star Wars, she cared. Everybody was trying. No one was showing up to the prequels going, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's like the biggest movie that's been waited for, like, of our generation. I don't care. I'm Natalie fucking Portman. Like, that didn't happen. She showed up and she's like, what do I do? And he's just like, I used to say faster, more intense, and it's a story I made up that I said that, and that's all I said, because Carrie Fisher thought it was funny. And now that's my directing style. And it's like,
I heard
that's not how
when
life
she
works,
showed up
George.
to set on the Phantom Menace, she used to talk like, and I was the one with the tiki talking to it, and I was the one with the,
And
that
I,
and I with the
and
one with
I was in the Temple of Doom.
the...
Yeah.
and I went to Planet Hollywood with Slide.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, but that was, you know, the George Lucas thing was, he was like it's weird. It's I don't think at that time they had figured out, like, George Lucas, really influential on Hollywood and prequel storytelling, obviously. The fact that we spent about 20 years not being able to get past like the origin story of any fucking superhero.
Yeah, thanks, prequel fans.
It was so boring. I I wanted to know Darth Vader's story. I don't need to like watch the origin story of Batman and Superman, you know, every fucking time. It's make me a good Batman movie. They finally got over it now. We're past it now, so I'm gonna stop bitching about it. But that was prequel-itis was not my favorite thing. Jonesy says there are many ways to produce content. Remember Smallville season 11 was released as a comic. No, I don't know that, Jonesy, at all.
Jonesy, you're not helping yourself.
You're not at all, Jonesy. But better than not releasing anything.
You know what, Jason? Case rested. I rest my case.
No,
Thanks,
but no. His point though, better than not releasing it at all.
Yeah, prosecution rests.
No, and we had that.
Smallville season 11.
Okay, we had that with Star Wars though. Like, there was a point when it did not look like we were ever going to get any Clone Wars stuff at all. This is where it gets dicey though. Ventress is killed was going to be killed in the Clone Wars. I believe it was a Katie Lucas arc that she wrote. And that's where she's buried on Dathomir, which I think will be a big thing going forward in the future. I think they're going to bring Ventress back in Ahsoka season 2 or whatever that story picks up when they resurrect all of the bodies on Dathomir. Well, anyways, they wrote the story is canon. George Lucas's daughter wrote it. It's canon. It's from the Lucases. It's canon. And they were like, well, we'll turn the scripts into a novel. They hired a novelist. The novelist took the scripts, made it into a novel. We got the story. On one hand, appreciate it massively. On this other hand here, they brought the Clone Wars back, and because they did that, they didn't produce that arc. They produced the Siege of Mandalore. It's great, good stuff. But I would really, really have appreciated having Ventress's whole story, because we see her as a child, as a Jedi, becoming her master getting killed, and how she becomes the witch and all that stuff, and her story and her dying in that show would have been nice, having that arc produced. But we didn't get it because of that. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's good and it's bad, you know. But in the Smallville season 11, obviously they were never going to pick that up. That was the only way to do it, and I think that was I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you, but that sounds like a fair thing to the fans, you know, giving them an option of, yeah, it's not the show, but do you want to know the story? You get it as a comic book. Superman started as a comic book. This seems fair, you know?
Until 20 years later, when they actually want to do a Smallville season 11, and they rewrite all of it. So,
it says, what should we do in terms of getting Rob to worship the prequels? How do we do it, Rob? How do you
my face on the $1 bill?
How do we make you like it? Yeah, right answer. Also, fuck you, Bespin. Party Man is an awesome song and a great sequence. Joker vandalizing the museum, great scene. The Sabersmith says funny because she had the same boring vanilla chemistry with Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, that's the thing with Portman is Hayden got the role supposedly because they had the best chemistry in real life. And that's what they said. That might have just been PR fucking spin, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you look at like Natalie Portman's husband, he's like a dancer. You know? The kind of men that she likes, I don't think are Hollywood leading men types. And so it's like that's why she ends up like she's good in like Black Swan, for instance. when it's just like an inward journey and it's not about the connection to a love
Like during
interest,
V.
but in what? Oh, V for
V for
Vendetta.
Vendetta. Yeah.
Have you
That was
watched
all right.
it recently though? I
Huh?
liked
Oh
it
yeah,
a
because she
lot.
doesn't talk, but she looks
I like,
great.
yeah, I liked it a lot when it came out. I watched it
Yeah.
recently and I was like, this feels really dated, really like real hard.
Still better than 99% of what DC's putting out.
Oh, that's. I mean, I think
You know.
shit's better than 99% of what DC's been putting
That's
out.
literally
So,
that's literally a whole line in Blue Beetle, Jason.
Yeah.
I gotta take a shit. I'm like, well, I'm out of here. I gotta get out of this movie. Like, I gotta stop. The internet wants to tell me that's the future of DC, and I just, you know what, you fucking have it if you think that's the future of DC. You know, good
Yeah.
luck to you, sir. Good day to you, sir.
Portman, Rick Jones says Portman's fighting scenes in Your Highness were pretty good. I think she missed her calling doing action movies. Yeah, I mean that was, I think, kind of what they were kind of trying to get her into. Like when she got all ripped for Thor. Was she actually all ripped for Thor? Or was that like a fucking?
No, she was ripped for
effect?
Thor, and then they
She was
put a
ripped for
thing
Thor?
on her. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like that thing where who else did they do that to? They
Mhm.
bulked the dude up and then put a muscle suit on. Oh, like Henry Cavill, or like even like Brandon Routh, right?
Yeah.
Like Brandon Routh actually worked out for Superman Returns, but then they put that giant foam on him, and you can't tell.
Yeah.
You're like, well, what's the fucking point? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get this, guys. You know, the two don't.
No fat face. No fat face. I guess.
Stupid hair for certain.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for the and hey Mike, I'm really excited for the new like Superman reboot actually.
I'm excited for
You know.
anything James Gunn does. Like seriously. Yeah, Peacemaker, I still think that's top tier shit, dude. Forget whether it's superhero shit or not. Like that shit is super good. Like,
okay, so what do you think about my James Gunn book coming right? It's called Under the Gun. Yeah, does that sound good?
He already did that. It's too easy.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Damn, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah,
but he called it that. There's a book called that.
Yeah. His sequel's gonna be Welcome to the Gun Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Yeah. Oh, okay. How about this? I walk up to him, I pants him, you take a picture, the Naked Gun. All right.
He already made 2 movies with OJ Simpson. I don't know if that's the although admittedly it is fun to watch OJ Simpson get the shit kicked out of him and murdered in the first one. Like now, you know, like that is never gets old.
Why, Rob? OJ's innocent.
It was Charlie.
You know what? I think it was Kato. I think Kato.
No, he says in his book it was Charlie. Oh no. Even OJ is like, Kato's too dumb for that. Like Kato couldn't turn off the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Like he complains in his own book. He's like, man, that guy just leaves the jacuzzi on. I read the book often, Jason, because the Goldmans, they did the audiobook. They had a guy.
Why are you reading the OJ book?
Well, because the Goldmans.
Wait,
the
is
Goldmans
this If I Did It? Is this the book If I Did It?
Yeah. When they got a hold of that book, they released an audiobook and got the world's almost racist OJ impersonator to read it, right? So it sounds like if I were doing the, hello, I'm OJ, like that kind of shit. Like it's so good. So
Chris asked if you walked out of Blue Beetle, and then Bestman said it made 133 million. It's the future of the bargain bin.
Yeah, I walked out at the 14-minute. I walked out right when she said I got to take a shit, and I was like, I'm out of here. You know,
I mean, like as just like a white guy observer on the internet, I'm like, I'm just gonna kind of mostly stay out of this. But I felt bad because I saw like people like being like, oh, our Latino hero, and like I was like, oh yeah, they don't really get a lot of that, so they're really embracing it. But then I was like, you guys deserve better than Blue Beetle.
I'm confused.
Who the fuck
I have a Latino father.
Who is that?
And family. You know, I got a Latino last name, even though I'm adopted. So I'm adopted. Latino. I'm confused, Jason. Because and I love Umberto, right? And Umberto Gonzalez. Yeah. And when Ant-Man came out, he was really mad at the Luis part. He called it a minstrel show.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, he called it brown face, I think.
Yeah. And I'm not seeing any difference between that and the entire cast of Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just confused. Like it's the same thing where they all talk really fast and have stupid jokes over one another.
I'm
not
guessing. I'm not to speak for anybody, but I'm gonna guess that the difference is that Blue Beetle is the hero and not a moron. So he's not playing moron to a white guy.
If he's got a whole bunch of
there's
morons
a
around
bunch
him.
of moronic depictions. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, I think that's.
I like the kid, and I
Mhm.
think that's what they're keeping. But the movie is horrible. Like
Mm.
it's of another era, and it's just dumb. So if you like it, good luck to you. You know.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't actually have like an opinion on it. But I saw the trailer way too many times over the summer, and it does not look like something I want to see. I even tried to like sometimes when I'm like on the cusp of maybe seeing something, I try to like, hey guys, want to the kids want to see it? You guys are like, no, Dad, we don't. So I was like, all right.
It's like, hey man, I like Robert Rodriguez, but those Shark Boy and Lava Girl movies, they ain't good, even by kid standards.
Yeah.
Like let's not make that the standard, you know, because
Yeah.
it got over the finish line. Let's you know.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of like stuff. There was, or not a lot, but there was another Sean Levy thing yesterday that was going around, and it's basically Sean Levy saying the same thing. People were kind of trying to make it sound like it was a new story, but it's Sean Levy saying the same thing. If I tell you about the Star Wars movie, Kathleen Kennedy's gonna kill me. And basically, like, Kathleen Kennedy came to me and said that she wants a Sean Levy Star Wars movie. And but the movies that are specifically mentioned are was it Free Guy, and the one where he time travels back and hangs out with himself as a kid. You know which one?
Adam Project.
Adam Project. So those
Stupidest
are like
name. Not the stupidest, but one of the stupidest names.
Yeah, I watched that film and I enjoyed it. I didn't see it and go, give this motherfucker a Star Wars. Like I didn't come at it from like that angle. Bespin was filling me in on that stuff yesterday, and he's just like, yeah, like, you know, he works with like the same actors a lot, like Mark Ruffalo comes up a lot. And like
Ruffalo.
and as was it Ruffalo?
Yeah. Like
Ruffles?
Huh? Ruffle. Huh?
Ruffles.
Ruffles have
ridges. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have ridges. They have ridges.
Yeah.
It's true.
Ruffles.
Brought to you by Tom's Computer and Ruffles. But yeah, so he works with like a lot of the same people over and over again. And on one hand, when you look at that, you see that and you're like, oh, that means he's a good guy. Like in Hollywood, somebody works with people in Hollywood just hate each other for fucking farting or something. But when you see people repeatedly coming back to him, it means he's probably a good guy. And when you look at it, the stuff that he's done, though, here's, I think, the angle. I don't think the angle on him is straight up, oh, free guy from Star Wars. I think it's when you look at his body of work, oh, this guy works in the studio system with the studio and stars and knows how to compromise and still get a movie made that connects with its audience.
Studio.
Yeah, like,
right.
But what I find weird about his situation, and Bespin, I believe, does too. He should just come on the show so that way he doesn't say, I said that.
Yeah, no, he's got his own podcast. No one listens to Jason, so he can't be here.
No, he's not allowed to. I actually don't allow him to have his own podcast at all times. Like it's only when it's.
Yeah, why be here? Why be here when you can be in the chat?
No, but I know I had a point I was making. Damn it, Rob! Damn you, Rob! My brain.
Studio system, studio guy, but
yeah, but he's writing the movie. He didn't write Fall or Free Guy. He didn't write Adam Project, I don't think. And so it's kind of, that's where I go like, that's kind of weird. Like you would think the methodology would have been, let's get writers he's worked with before to write a Star Wars movie, or let's get writers who we want to do what we want them to do and have them write something that's in the Sean Levy flavor and then get Sean Levy to direct it. Like that seems like it would have been more of the way to go. But Bespin and I went in our conversation, we concluded we believe that most likely there is another writer writing with Sean Levy for that reason. And we're kind of questioning who it is, if it exists. And that's kind of the question that I'm throwing out there to any sources who are listening to the show today. if they could let us know who that is, because I don't think he's writing it solo. I don't think that actually makes that much sense. And if it is true today, it might not be true tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like
What
he
else
might
has he
write.
written?
Sean Levy. Let's look it up.
Yeah, let's
I
look up what he's written. I think that's a better indication, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sean Levy is an American film author, podcaster, blogger. No, God.
Oh, Jesus, man. Getting his mom's LinkedIn page or Wikipedia where she goes in there and talks him up.
Yeah. All right. So Levy was born to a Jewish family of 2 siblings, Rob and Debbie. Rob and Debbie sound delightful. They really do. They sound delightful.
I don't trust any Robs.
So his early career, Levy began his professional career pursuing his undergraduate and graduate degrees in the mid-1980s through the mid-1990s, studying performing arts. He made his acting debut in Zombie Nightmare. Oh, cool. Zombie Nightmare.
Yeah, but what has he written, Jason? Can you just scroll down to the writing?
No. Oh, you know what, dude? I keep forgetting I'm in the future, dude. I'm in the future now, bud. I could share screens and it doesn't even fucking matter, bro. Like, look at this, dude. Like you see what I'm seeing right now?
It doesn't break your whole computer now?
Nah, dude. I'm still going.
Thanks,
Look at me,
Tom.
dude. Look at what I'm doing, dude. Look, I can fuck with people like this now. Are you feeling like you want to vomit? I can do that to you if I.
Meanwhile,
want to.
other podcasters are buying Lambos. You know, we could share a Wikipedia page now. We're getting there.
Man, truth is, I just need a DeLorean. I wouldn't want a Lambo. Yeah. So then, in the mid, I'm just want to kind of like look at his career like a little bit. Levy and 21 Laps were the company under 2020. So ABC sitcoms. What the fuck was that? Imaginary Mary. I don't see the Levy's comedy, The Internship. I remember that one. That movie was fine. Like I saw it. Like I laughed and I forgot about it. You know, which is what it is.
What do you think the average person would say about American Graffiti had it come out in the 2000s? Do you think they would just say it was just fine? You know what I mean? I don't think they would say it was groundbreaking.
What, American Graffiti?
Yeah. Do you think if it came out in the 2000s, people would say it was just fine?
You can't do it because like I've even heard Quentin Tarantino say without American Graffiti, you don't have Pulp Fiction.
Isn't it weird though that American Graffiti was nostalgia, but it was like only like 8 years old? It's like nostalgia for your teens when you were in your
baby
24,
boomers
right?
are a bunch of navel gazing fucking losers. So
I got you on that one though, right?
They immediately went.
Little...
Okay. So all right. So this is his producer only film. This is director and producer. Let's just look at that real quick. Just in Time, Big Fat Liar. Is that the Jim Carrey movie? Oh no, that's the fucking that's the Frankie Muniz
liar.
Yeah. Cheaper by the dozen. God damn it. But you know what? We all had to eat. I mean, but he's directing Steve Martin, you know.
Yeah, but he also directed episodes of Stranger Things, so I'm curious about the writing.
Well, I know, and
if the task, Jason, was to make a corny, dopey movie starring the guy from Smallville season 11, then then he succeeded, right? Like that's.
Well, but here's the other thing though, is like when you look at like Kathy, according with her words, is Free Guy and Adam Project, right? But not the earlier stuff. She's not mentioning Big Fat Liar. She's not mentioning The Internship. She's mentioning like those 2 last films. And I'm going to guess because Deadpool hadn't been made yet. His last 2 films were at the time when they were signing him was what mattered. Now this is his producing credits. Acting. He's been an actor. No, I guess maybe with these big actual parts. Cheaper by the dozen. Television. All right, I'm just not seeing any. I'm seeing acting stuff. I'm not seeing anything as a writer.
Yeah, that's not good.
On his Wikipedia.
I just want everyone to know I'm giving this dude the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, I'm not out there. Oh, I hate the thing. I don't know, man. Like, we've seen super talented people come. We've seen one guy make a Star Wars film everyone like, and one guy make a Star Wars film everyone hate.
Yeah.
And guess which person that is, like, because there's multiple directors who pulled that one off. Like,
I mean, Yeah, so I'm on his IMDb right now. Director, actor. I don't see any writing credits at all. He's 5'11" though. You know, he's got 4 children, so that guy comes. If you're wondering, Sean Levy, he fucking
There's
comes.
some things the new computer should not be able to do, Jason.
Oh man, we're gonna get in so much trouble with this. He graduated with honors from Yale. Fucking bitch. Salary, he made $10 million for real still. Fucking rich bitch. Fucking Rob and Debbie. What are they getting out of that? You fucking giving Rob and Debbie any money, Sean Levy?
Never tell another person how to spend their money, Jason. All right.
Hey,
never tell.
Listen, I'm all about Rob and Debbie. Okay, I want Rob and Debbie Star Wars.
Little Debbie.
He doesn't write any of his films. He is only credited as a story developer on a Netflix series, All the Light We Cannot See, which has yet to be released. And Internship is not a classic movie. I wouldn't buy it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I saw it at the drive-in. Got a hand job. It was a good time. What do you want? But but the whole story developer thing. I mean, I think it's like safe to say that you could call a director a storyteller. And so if he ends up like going out and doing like a real shit first pass and then that's developed into a script from somebody else, so be it. I think that
right. I mean, in the same way that if I was to say, hey, I'd like to do a bunch of things in this project, and then the writer writes those down and then makes a script out of it. I got some level of input, but I didn't write the script. I'm not the writer. That's not how that works.
Yeah. And it's weird because there's times when you realize like, oh, I'm criticizing like some of the people that have made some of the best movies in all of all time, and you're like, but then you're like, you look at the methodology on that one, and it's a bit strange. I don't know why they wouldn't just have what Kathy's idea of a Sean Levy movie as written and developed independently, and then hire him to direct. Seems like it would make the most sense. Like, it's once again, we're back to that like auteur theory kind of stuff. And Ryan Johnson,
maybe the cheaper by the dozen writers are just too busy, Jason. They got too much going on.
I fundamentally disagree with letting JJ write the stuff he did. And when you look at the one that worked, he wasn't, he wrote it with the guy who wrote some of the good Star Wars movies too. So it's like, how much of that was even JJ in the end is up for debate,
I fundamentally don't want Chris Terrio anywhere near a licensed property.
Yeah, Chris Terrio's episode 9 work, and JJ's episode 9 work, obviously we agree, are not anything that we need anything
and
more
Justice
of.
League or BVS,
but that's also like another weird one. And it's like, and when they got Terrio, I thought they must have been really confident in the stuff he did for Force Awakens, but looking at it, it's not.
Terrio worked on Force Awakens?
No, JJ wrote on Force Awakens. So I thought they must have been like, oh yeah, he just needs his boy at the keyboard. And I've always heard that it kind of works that way, is you kind of have like your person who is just spitballing and saying what people should say, and then there's the person actually at the keyboard. And so you could see how JJ is the guy walking around the room and Kasdan's the one doing the actual writing, and making JJ think that the ideas were his sometimes, probably. Stuff like that, Yeah,
it's kind of like Hurley Burley, right?
Hurley Burley. But yeah, and then I haven't actually seen Free Guy. I haven't watched that one, but
not a fan of the humor.
Yeah,
look, I gotta be honest, I wasn't excited about this whole pick when I heard it. All right,
yeah,
but dude's making Deadpool and Star Wars, so I guess he's the new Simon Kinberg.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I mean, that's, and the thing is, like, on like a Simon Kinberg, I think like Kinberg's good in a little dose when it's all the Kinberg.
Little,
That's when it's
it'll be
too
a train
much.
sequence, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
His little doses throw trains in it.
Yeah. Well, just get ready for your Ryan Reynolds Star Wars character. Brandon says, I would love if Ryan wrote Tross instead of JJ. That's the alternate reality I want to teleport to, live in,
Yeah.
But
yeah, even me, who I'm mixed on
that's true.
episode 8, I still think he was the better. And I got a friend who absolutely hated that movie when it came out, and even he has since come around on that. Probably would have been a better.
Well, that's that's what I hate about like internet people and everybody wanting to be, what's his name from Clerks?
Kevin Smith?
No.
No, Brody.
No, the one with the R Randolph.
Randall.
In Clerks is like, you don't have to have like a fucking hot take that you live or die in for the rest of, like, you can make the joke fine, cool. But then they like make it like that's my thing. Like, it's just an attribute of my personality.
Randall's not supposed to be the hero. he's selling porn to
neither
kids
is Eric Cartman. Don't tell anybody.
I know. It's like you walk out of mall rats going, I want to grow up to be Brody is not the fucking lesson to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
But that's what stupid Gen Xers take away, Jason. Like,
yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I'm like, I could still see, like, I'm want to see where it goes and what happens. And yeah, people are like, he's going to get fired. Rick is like, he's just going to get fired. And it's like, yeah, it's probably possible. I mean, it's highly likely he will just get fired. At the same time, though, the reason why I think he won't is the fact that when you look at the movies he's got made before, they're all over the place. They're not bad or good because of him. Like, honestly, the Frankie Muniz Vehicle was never going to be a good movie, was it? There's no reality where a Frankie Muniz
Agent Cody
movie,
Banks.
Yeah, Agent Cody. There's no Agent Cody Banks fucking reality where that's a great movie.
Do you know who two of the producers of Agent Cody Banks was?
What?
One was Robert Meyer Burnett, and the other one was Madonna.
Yeah. So.
It's great.
Yeah, but you just end up with, when it comes to that guy's like filmography, if that's even the word, they ordered something and he delivered it. And I think that's what they want. And that's why we're on this one, I think, where he might not get fired. And if he does get fired, it will probably not because of his disagreement. When I look at that, I see a very agreeable fucking person who's like, okay, I want to get the movie done. So he gets the movie done. So that's where I'm a little, more, Bestman says Levy is credited as a writer on Deadpool 3. However, there's 7 additional writers, including Ryan Reynolds. So, yeah. Yeah, and that means they're spitballing jokes, probably.
More writers means better. Yeah, just jokes and shit.
Yeah. As the truth says, people are coming around on The Last Jedi, but there were far too many people who changed their mind on it when they saw the internet's reaction. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't.
No, my stance then is my stance now. I've not changed it.
I'm still in the weird place where I haven't organically ran into anybody who is just like, I hate that fucking movie, fuck that movie. Like, I've never had it. I had it with the prequels, but I never had it on Last Jedi,
Oh, well, I agree with you on that 100%. Like, I mean, I've run into them, but they're hardcores. It's not like the prequels, dude. Like, I mean, the prequels, I couldn't go 1 foot out the fucking door. You know what I mean? I saw Star Wars. I fucking hate the prequel. Hate the
there would just be like a lady going, I don't like that Jar Jar. And you're just like, who the fuck are you? Just check out my fucking soup. All right? I just want to get out of the grocery store. But
like, people think, like, I was delusional when the Phantom Menace came. I thought it was all like, this is just all going to pay off. Like, Lucas just, he taught me to not care. But I was overseas when that came out. So I was not, what do you call that? I was not, the marketing wasn't something I dealt with. The toys, the potato chip bags, the cans, I didn't see any of that stuff. They didn't have any of that in
Weird.
Germany. Yeah.
You
So
missed
I came to this.
Beatlemania of Star Wars.
Yeah, I missed it. I came in July for a week of '99. It was still in theaters, but I was the only one in the theater watching it. You know what I mean? Like, and so I just saw my friend had stockpiled Pizza Hut boxes with Stormtroopers or Gungans on there or some shit. You know, like I was like, why you got Pizza Hut boxes? You know, like, he would order Pizza Hut and then have them give him a clean box to save. You know.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I didn't see any of that shit. But everyone told me how much they hated it. I was like, what? And then I did that thing where I explained to them what it really means and where it's going. And I did that whole thing, Jason, and where you evangelicize Lucas and it's all going to mean, and then, you know.
And then Revenge of the Sith happened and you were validated. I know.
Attack of the Clones happened. And I was like, it's definitely not happening. I guess it means we're brothers. Like, yeah, guess that means we're brothers.
I don't know. I
guess that means we're brothers.
I don't really care about Uncle Owen, so it didn't really bother me. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I killed them all. I love you deeply. I write a flea.
I mean, well, you know, okay. Here's what actually like annoys me about George Lucas, were the things that he ignores and decides I'm going to sweep that under the rug. Uncle Owen being his biological uncle or not or whatever never mattered to me, because if we were in a post-apocalyptic world right now and just some boy was like, we found some kid in a fucking car, and then like, I'm not going to be like, I'm your dad, but he might just be like, oh, you're my uncle. Like, you could just see them taking that, like, you're just my uncle. You're not my dad. My dad was
That's not what I got hung up on.
No. I know
don't
that.
care about that.
No. I'm saying the fact that George Lucas didn't have an answer, and then but then of all the things he swept under the rug, he didn't just sweep that under the rug. He made it like, I guess we're brothers now.
No, the real drama, the pathos that Lucas missed out on is the, hey, who's your family? These fucking dudes in robes, right, with lightsabers who are killing the whole galaxy, or us, your blood, right? And Anakin chooses to go the other way. He made a choice to walk out, you know? And family takes shit like that personally, Jason. When I got adopted and changed my last name, half of my biological family de-owned me or whatever. They were, you know, like, they get real.
Rob,
there's a whole.
Honestly, dude, I think it was just you.
No.
I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It is possible, you know.
No, I'm joking.
Look at me. I'm a ghost.
Yeah. Will says Levy sounds kind of like a hack. To me, Levy sounds like somebody who likes making films and shooting scenes. Might not necessarily classically, perhaps didn't prioritize the film itself, and maybe doesn't care about clout. That's kind of, it doesn't seem like he's a tryhard. I mean, he's making fucking Agent Coney Banks style movies at one point. So I think he's just a dude who paid his dues. But you know, if he gets the Star Wars movie, I mean, that's what he's gonna be known for forever. Doesn't matter what he does with any of this other stuff. If you know, Rian Johnson is a much better filmmaker than most of the Star Wars films that we have had in the last couple of years, and that's what he's known for.
Even my friends who hate The Last Jedi love the lightsaber fight in the throne room.
Oh yeah, that thing is well shot. I mean,
so go think about that.
I've seen people try and shit on that, and I'm just like, you're a fucking moron. I'm not.
Yeah, they're really dumb
right now.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like I don't like Eddie Van Halen, but I'm not gonna say he can't play guitar. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, that would be fucking stupid.
I like his kids' albums too, and people say he can't sing. Go figure.
You know what? I want to be a singer like Lou Reed. So cool. Bestman Bulletin says, I just spent the last 30 minutes on Levy's filmography. Though he works with a lot of the same actors, he doesn't usually work with the same writers for his films. Yeah, and like Steven goes on to say, he seems like a workman director. Yeah, I think so too. You hire him for these kinds of movies for families. Joe Johnston was a good workman director. He directed my favorite Marvel film. Wish he directed Book of Boba. And I am with Steven 100% on everything that he just said. That's exactly how I feel. And I wish in a weird way that we had been able to get like a Joe Johnston is now retired, And I wish that it like, you know, they had been able to get to Joe Johnston and let him do something with Star Wars before. I know he
Right.
felt really burned by Disney and was publicly saying like, basically, I don't like Disney and I don't want to work for them ever again. And that's when I knew that when that Boba Fett movie that at the time became Mangold's, that's when I knew, oh, it ain't ever going to Joe Johnston, because he's basically
Bit of a
saying,
shame.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I think that there's people like who like doing like the craft and do the craft well, and then I think some of those people make very competent movies I don't care about. And that's the thing I would say about Sean Levy's most of his films. I don't care about them. Maybe all of his films. And in fact, I don't have anything against Deadpool. I don't have anything about Deadpool at all. I just don't really care about Deadpool, you know?
Yeah, I like the
Member
first movie. Didn't
I have
like
a
the
family
second
member who
one.
like likes Deadpool a lot, and every time like it'll be like a holiday or something, like Deadpool comes on, and they're watching it, and you know, I see it, and I'm like, yeah, there's no reason to hate it, but I also like I don't have like I don't connect to it, you know, in any way.
Well, I can tell you why my wife and a bunch of women that she's friends with liked it, because the
Because Ryan Reynolds
relationship.
got a big old dick.
No, because the
Oh,
relationship, and when that goes away, it's not in the second one.
right.
It's just no connection.
Hmm.
You know,
And
they got the relationship
Ryan
right in
Reynolds'
that
big
first
old
movie.
dick. Maybe.
Could care less. You know,
You
like
sure?
if there's no relationship, I know
You
that's how
serious right now?
you, me, and all my gay
Oh,
friends, we think that way. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, Ryan Reynolds got a big old dick. Everybody knows that.
yeah,
No, I have no idea. He might have a little tiny
like
dick for all
Primus.
I know.
Right? Remember the song? Just like
Do you remember
Ryan
back
Reynolds
in
got
the
a big old
day
dick, got a big old dick.
when Primus did Winona's Big Brown Beaver, and then like they thought it was about Winona Ryder, and who somebody famous got
Yes,
real
I
mad at.
remember this.
Who was it? It was like it wasn't like Keanu Reeves or something. It was somebody else. They got like real mad.
Johnny
Like,
Depp.
Was it Johnny Depp?
I think it
Okay,
was Johnny
yeah.
Depp. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's not even about her. And they're like, you're the one who's now saying she has a big old brown beaver. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like it was weird. It was like the Streisand effect, but on Winona Ryder's vagina. It was like, what?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
Them's
weird.
were the days, huh, Jason?
Yeah.
When people actually believed Marilyn Manson was in Wonder Years, you know?
No, yeah, no. They thought he was the brother on Mr. Belvedere. That was how I heard it, anyways.
Vaguely remember that one too.
Yeah. But all right, I think we did it, Rob. We got a new computer. The show worked. Anything that happened was completely my fault, as opposed to the computer's fault. So good work,
We had
Tom.
Santa, no Meg. I think Meg didn't like me making fun of her last show, so she took the phone off.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't go into the Temple of Doom. Okay, sorry.
When I go on my Star Wars podcast, I will talk about the Bad Batch.
Yeah. We need to hire the whatever from Temple of Doom just to harass Meg, you know? Just
I want to
to
have
harass-
Meg and AI Prince from the Temple of Doom argue with one another. Yeah. The what are these? What were they called? The Tiki? No, what were those? What are those? What is the cult called?
Oh,
brain farting.
Will says
Never mind.
what?
The Thuggy cult.
Thuggy, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson.
Thuggy.
Will says Joe Johnson has style though. Every movie he makes has its own distinctive vibe. And,
the Rocket Boys or whatever. October Sky, I think it was.
Yeah, October Sky was good. Yeah, he confirmed that we're getting that ILM docu-series on Disney Plus, a season 2 of it, by the way.
And I enjoy his Jurassic Park 3. It just needed a final battle. The ending got cut off. They should have fought that giant dinosaur at the very end, like Godzilla, and they just it turns into a JJ's Lost at the very end.
But
so
it's still
weird.
the second best
100%
Jurassic movie.
by a long mile.
Yeah. And there's still a long mile between the first and the second best, but
There's a long
mile. But Disney Dial of Destiny comes on Disney Plus December 1st. That's cool. That's cool.
Disney Double D's. That's what I'm calling
it
right now.
So I kind of don't care, but Bestman says, I agree, Will. Johnson has his own style and flair. I'll never forget how masterfully he shot the rifling through dinosaur shit scene in Jurassic Park 3. Hey, that's a Jurassic Park staple.
Look, if you think it's easy, go watch Godzilla, the 1997. You know what I mean? Like what Spielberg did and what Joe Johnston did are exceptions to the rule. Most of Hollywood would have made fucking Godzilla, you know?
Yeah.
Or God Help Us, Lost in Space. If you ever had to sit through that fucking movie.
Yeah. I saw Lost in Space. I saw also like Godzilla. Had the soundtrack. Had friends on the soundtrack. Fun fact, I was almost on the soundtrack. Fuck you, Puff Daddy.
To Lost in Space?
Puff Daddy is such a fucking asshole, dude. He just fucked so many people over back then. Everybody on the Godzilla soundtrack were people that were basically getting fucked over by Puff Daddy. But that was another idea I had, by the way. We should do a show, if there's no Star Wars news, about the hubris of the Phantom Menace, where we have like Ewan McGregor quotes where he's shitting on Independence Day, they're shitting on Godzilla. It goes on and on. There's like so many stuff.
I would love to do this show.
I think the hubris of the Phantom Menace theme might be a fun show. So
I would love this.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We're gonna go because I got a sore throat. I'm getting sick. But Bespin.
Oh, from being sick or from sucking dick? Which one is
no?
it?
I can't suck dick because I got a sore throat.
Oh,
I got a sore throat because I can't suck dick. Chicken or egg.
Ouroboros.
So, anyways,
it's a dick eating its own balls. Yes.
All right, we're done. Bye, Rob. Say bye.
I'm trying to get rid of everyone, Jason. You know what I mean?
Bye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Right click.
It's the end.